So next is along the same lines, and that's starting your own cloud computing consulting firm to become a cloud computing millionaire. And this is basically doing the same sort of work like we just talked about, becoming a partner at a big consulting firm, but you're working for yourself. So you have a single proprietorship or an LLC that you set up, and it's just you within the firm, and you're accepting cloud computing contracts, and you're working these contracts yourself, and the money is going directly in your pocket. Obviously, there's some advantages and disadvantages of doing that. The advantage would be you work for yourself, so you can set your own schedule, set your own time, pick your clients. If you don't want to work for somebody, you don't have to. If you do want to work for somebody, you can figure out how to make that happen. No one's going to take the money. In other words, it doesn't go through another entity and then fed to you. It goes directly in your pocket. And so you can get to some fairly lucrative years in terms of billables in the cloud computing space. The downsides would be obvious. There's a risk to doing that. You may not be able to find the business. You're going to have to fund your own marketing efforts. You're going to have to spend a lot of time doing things which are basically working for free, the thought leadership stuff and social networking and all the things that are important to you being an independent consultant. And that's all investment in time and effort that's going to come back in more value within the firm. And the other thing is you need to figure out ways in which you're going to allow yourself to scale. If you look at making $1 million a year as a sole proprietor consulting firm, you're like, well, Dave, I'm doing the math. That's $5,000 an hour. Who's going to pay that? Absolutely nobody will. So normally if consultants are getting to that level of revenue, they're doing so by creating business that are able to scale. And normally that's going to be firm fixed price deals. So in other words, instead of selling hourly rate, where they're just doing time and materials on these particular engagements, they're selling a deliverable or delivering an architecture, or delivering a paper, or delivering some kind of value for a company around the cloud computing stuff, but they're doing so with a firm fixed price. And if you're able to do that, you're able to do that many times in the same month, because you're not having to bill your time and materials on the project. They're just paying you for the deliverable. So you can work and budget your time, and in many cases, you can do it faster than you would if you were doing some kind of an hourly contract and make more money in doing it. So you're able to force multiply, I guess, your time. The other opportunities that are lucrative as well is your ability to have an advisory firm where they're paying you a retainer. And some consultants get a retainer, and what the retainer means is that they have the ability to reach out and contact you, and they're going to pay that kind of through a subscription price over time. And so if you do 10, 15 of those, you're going to have a good deal of recurring revenue that's going to occur every month.